Bridge Over Troubled Waters, as I think you know, has been an institution that's been supporting Boston's young and at-risk individuals for over 40 years. We as a city are lucky to have this great organization. I'm just a bit player that stands on the sidelines and every now and then helps Elizabeth Jackson raise a couple of dollars to put these great buildings together. We have some great people that are going to speak to us today. Elizabeth took over the role as executive director of Bridge several years ago. She has both an undergraduate and a graduate degree in human services from UMass in Boston. She's done a marvelous job showing leadership for our young people and putting this program together and integrating this program into the city of Boston. So with no further ado, let me introduce Elizabeth for some opening comments.
Thank you and welcome. Thank you, Bob, for those kind words and introduction. We are deeply thankful for so many of you. And please don't judge me if I don't call all your names. It gave me a little opportunity to speak. So, but thank you. For more than 30 years, Bridge Transitional Living Program and Single Parent House, so this is the Transitional Living Program and that's the Single Parent House, has provided not only safe housing, meals, and other basic needs for homeless youth, but also 24-hour staffing, in-house case management, counseling support, assistance with day-to-day tasks, daily life and relational skill building, access to education, job development, employment assistance, and preparation in a hopeful future. So thank you for being here to welcome our young people home. We don't call this a shelter, we call it a home. The Transitional Living Program in the Single Parent House serves males and female participants and LGBTQ youth. All youth living in the Transitional Living Program and Single Parent House are either employed or going to school. They live with Bridge, you're in school or you're working. Bridge remains at the forefront of responding to trends of affecting homeless youth. Bridge understood the necessity of expansion for this house. I was speaking to my program director a couple of years ago, and I said, we have a lot of homeless kids out, house them. He said, Elizabeth, where you want me to put them? And I said, put them in our house. He's like, where? Oh, we have a wait list in all of our programs. I said, you can't, what do you mean you have a wait list? And we're getting calls. I said, Peter, we have to figure out a way. And he's like, okay. So we try to figure out to buy a house, and that became to be a little hard. So then I said, oh, we already have a property in Boston. Let's expand this property. So we started to make sure that we expanded, and that's where we are right now. So this started 3 years ago, about 9 months to the day of construction, we have moved in. And I have to really thank our contractor, Crosswinds, because every time I met with him, I cried and I said, I have to bring my kids home, I have to bring my kids home, I have to bring my kids home. So he finished this one in 9 months, and he's going to finish that one in 1 more month for me, so I can move my other young people home, so I can move them out of their hotels and where they're staying. A famous philosopher said, we're a crisis organization, we plan for all this, we're ready. We're ready. A famous philosopher once wrote that extreme hopes are born of extreme misery. I can't think of a better way to convey this project. We moved in on September 6th, and at the beginning of September, with a significant component of this project completed, our young men and women moved in with moms as well. I have to thank Liberty Mutual, the Yaki Foundation, because when I went to them and I said, look, I have a wait list and a lot of homeless young people, and I need to expand. They said, okay, kid, go back and give me the plans. And you have a lot of hopes and dreams. Come back and really show us what you can do. And they put the financial support behind us, and we were able to then went ahead and turn around to work with the city of Boston that was very supportive to push us through. The renovation and expansion included The capacity to include 5 new bedrooms for a total of 28 bedrooms, all with more home-like feel. When you walk through, you'll see. We always believe that it's all about making it a home. Expanded living space, new counseling rooms, one-on-one interactions, and a lot of ways to foster milieu-based, relationship-oriented services. We expanded our outdoor space. We've also expanded our playground and deck, thank you to the NFL. And we can have the capacity now to serve up to 50 young people a year. We, through the health, we provide safety and harm reduction, well-being, self-sufficiency, permanent connections are all part of being a young person at Bridge. But I want to keep it short in saying a couple of things. Again, thank you. I want to thank the partners that contributed, that have led to this success. The City of Boston, the Department of Neighborhood Development, the Commonwealth Department of Housing and Community Development, Liberty Mutual, Yaki Foundation, the National Football League, all of our major donors, the Patriots, and the Kraft family. Thank you to the representatives in the state and in the city that have pushed us through in making sure that funding for affordable housing is available for young people. I am so grateful and incredibly happy that you're here to welcome our kids home. So thank you.
I don't know how many of you know Elizabeth Jackson. Elizabeth grew up in a single-parent household, family that struggled. English was her second language. And here's a person that's dealt all the tough blows that life can give and decides that she wants to give back in a way that just cares about our kids. I've been involved with Bridge for probably 23 or 24 years now, and Sister Whalen first recruited me many years ago, and there's rarely a person that I have ever encountered that has been so dedicated and passionate about a cause that's so important. And thank you, Elizabeth, for everything you do. You know, in speaking of dedicated and passionate, you know, it's easy to stand before a group and give gratuitous praise to an elected official, but in this case, it is so deep and so heartfelt. I don't know if we appreciate how lucky we are to have this man as our mayor. He cares deeply about the neighborhoods. He cares deeply about the people. Shortly after his election, we didn't know each other from a hole in the wall, and we sat down about Bridge, and the mayor's statement to me was real simple. It's, how can I help? And since that period of time, that's just what he's done. He's been a driving force in helping Bridge, helping us with our identity, helping us with our presence in great places like this. He serves as an auctioneer extraordinaire at an event that we hold every April and helping us raise a lot of money for this institution. So without anything further, thank you, Mayor Walsh, and I'd like to introduce him for some comments.
Thank you, Bob. There's so many people. I'm going to just be the thank you person. Bob, thank you. I met Bob literally 10 minutes before I went on stage at Bridge over Troubled Waters auction at the, I think it was the Ritz-Carlton, and I realized that, and everyone in front of me, none of them voted for me, by the way, which is bittersweet for me. And I realized quickly that the people in that room started bidding stuff. We started at 2,000 and went to 30,000. So this man behind me and the board, thank you for the work you do. I want to thank you.
Hey, they're all voting for you this time.
No, they are. Dan and everyone on the board and Bob, thank you for the work you do here. Elizabeth, she's incredible. I've known Elizabeth because when I was a state representative, I knew who Bridge was. I knew the work they did, and we worked on funding programs for homelessness. A lot of times, homeless kids they kind of get lost in the middle. Homeless teens, they get lost in that they're in the adult system, but really don't get all the attention, and they're not young, and they're not in the family system. So there's a mix there, and she's done an incredible job. Sister Whalen, thank you very much. as well. Your vision of starting this program is as true today as it was the day you started it, and it's probably even more so today, and which is hard to believe. So thank you for that. I want to thank Mark Siomo, the state representative. We were talking out in the parking lot outside. Mark quietly does a lot of great things in the city for a lot of great programs, and this is one of those programs. And I want to thank Mark for being here today, for being here. And Kevin Honan, the state representative. Kevin Honan is responsible for, on the House of Representatives side, every housing bond bill that's come down in the last 20 years. Kevin Honan's had a stamp of approval on it and his name on it, which is a lot of support, money, and funding. So thank you, Kevin, for that as well, for the great work you've done. Roger Herzog, thank you. Melissa McDonald from Liberty Mutual, thank you. Tim Sullivan, thank you. Congratulations to Senator, how are you, Senator? Ways and Means. We're going to hit him up for some more money next year. He's the vice chair, Ways and Means. Like, he should be, we have to get money from you, all right? So never mind this stuff. Bridge over trial line item. Never mind this. We don't dedicate line items anymore. We're not Washington. We're not Republicans. We're Democrats. Let's start doing line items, all right? Get that money out here. But I want to thank the senator as well. All joking aside, another champion. Anytime you make a phone call to him for funding, for support, he's there. So thank you, Senator, for the great work you do. I want to thank Sheila Dillon in my shop and Ryan for their support. $1 million for the Neighborhood Housing Trust Fund. Sheila is incredible. I mean, I don't have to tell people here that know housing who Sheila Dillon is or what she's all about. She's absolutely incredible. So I want to thank you, Sheila, for your great work. Jim Green, I want to thank you as well for the years of service you've done to the city and continue to do. Bridge over troubled waters, lifeline to young people in the city of Boston, and not just the city, throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. As you heard, 47 years working with homeless youth and mothers and young mothers, giving them opportunity, hope, and care. That's what these homes represent. They represent hope and care. Today, they continue to be one of the only agencies left offering the kind of housing and transitional assistance for kids and for young people in these ages. This renovation helps us increase their capacity. Also, this helps us, will help single parents that are going to be living here as well. 28 rooms in this house. Here we go. That's what it's all about right there. I'm not going to go on. Let me just end this. Elizabeth and her work and the teens and the young people that are here are incredible. Last January, I had a chance to go out and do a walk around the city of Boston. As I walked around the city of Boston, this was my 4th time as mayor in the city of Boston doing the homeless census count. Every year that I go out there, Jim Green is always with me by my side, and we walk. We go. Jim's incredible. We go down subway stations. We go in doorways, and we go everywhere. And last year, one of the stops we went was State Street Station. Actually, no, it was Washington Station, downtown crossing. We walked down. We're heading over towards the red line. There's a young man sitting there. Talks to Jim. He's a young man. He's 25 years old. He's been on the streets for 5 years. He got on the streets at the age of 20 years old. So when you think about the impacts of homelessness, what they have in our city, what this program does, it provides opportunity. It provides an open door policy to get people on the right track and help people show that their life is worth something and that they have opportunities once they come in the front door. I want to thank Bridge for the great work they do in our city. I want to thank anybody who had anything to do with these houses today. I want to thank anyone who donated to this great organization, and I want to thank you all for the great work you do. And lastly, I want to give a shout out to Sister Whalen and Elizabeth. God bless both of you, and thank you for what you do.
As I said, we don't have to listen to that man very long to understand how lucky we are as a city to have him and that leadership and his passion for the citizens of Boston. Next on the agenda is a couple more speakers, and we'll get you out of the cold and get you inside of the house. But next on the agenda, of course, like everything, this is a partnership that we put together for Bridge, and so many people play such a great role. Tim Sullivan, the Executive Director for Mass Housing.
Thank you. Good morning. When I saw that this was a ribbon cutting, I was feeling, oh, good, maybe this will be inside today. So I'll try to be quick. I'm Tim Sullivan. I'm the Executive Director of Mass Housing. Mass Housing is your state's affordable housing bank. Our mission is to confront the housing challenges facing the citizens of the Commonwealth to improve their lives. I think today is a perfect example of that. We do it with partners. We do it with the city, with the mayor. Sheila Dillon is incredible. We do it with the state, with the Department of Housing and Community Development, with Roger Herzog. And I want to recognize one particular partner. Chairman Honen's been recognized before. Within the last several days, he championed and led a $1.7 billion housing bond bill that passed the House. And it's the Housing Committee. I'm a little ambitious there. Sorry. But his work and his leadership here is really incredible and leads to great results. Elizabeth, your team should be so proud of what you're doing here today. You are creating and building homes for people. This facility will have deep and lasting impact on the lives of young women and men and people it serves, and we couldn't be more excited to be here. Combating homelessness, stabilizing families in need, and creating opportunities for young women and men to thrive are the priorities of the Baker-Polito administration. You can see this dedication in a 20% increase in the commitment of resources to affordable housing, and this bond bill will help support that going forward. Through partnerships with community-based organizations like Bridge, and the new capacity that's being put into place is being realized with events like today. I also just want to end by talking about how much the city is doing and how much we appreciate the partnership we have with the city. The mayor's bold 2030 housing vision is ambitious, and they're delivering on it. We have been all around the city helping make that happen. We were in Mattapan just a couple of weeks ago celebrating an exciting mixed-income homeownership development. We're doing deep preservation in the Fenway, in Jamaica Plain, and Mattapan. We're looking to work with the Boston Housing Authority on Whittier, and we hope to be just in a couple of months down the street at Brighton Marine doing new deep veterans housing. So we appreciate the work. I would say the thread that ties all these efforts together is a commitment to working together collaboratively to ensure that neighborhoods that have made the city such a dynamic place to live remain vibrant and accessible to all residents of all means, and ensure that Massachusetts remains an inclusive, prosperous, and welcoming place for all of its residents. Thank you. Congratulations to the team today. I think my job now is to introduce Roger Herzog. Roger is an incredible partner at CDAC. One of my favorite things about being on the Mass Housing Board is I've been able to, Mass Housing Executive Director is to work on the CDAC board, so Roger Herzog.
Thank you, Tim, and good morning, everyone. Let me offer my congratulations to the hardworking board and staff of Bridge Over Troubled Waters on the completion of this important project serving unaccompanied homeless youth. This is CDAC's first project working with Bridge and its excellent team, and we have been most impressed by your ability to vision this project and carry it out along with your vital mission. And speaking of your team, I have to give a special shout out to your excellent consultants. Dan Violi, who's a CDAC alumni, Matthew Yarmolinsky, and others have done a great job in bringing this project through. Mayor Walsh, I want to commend you on your leadership on the issue of ending homelessness. You and your excellent staff have made this a high priority, and CDAC is committed to collaborating on your efforts. For those of you who don't know, CDAC is a public-private community development finance institution who works with the nonprofit community development sector here in Massachusetts. Our role in this project was to provide some early seed capital to Bridge to pay for the work to plan the project, and then we also work closely with DHCD to administer a $1 million housing innovations loan to the project. This is one of the programs that gets funded in the housing bond bill that Chairman Honen has delivered this week. And other financing includes that from Mass Housing, the city, and the philanthropic sector. As Tim Sullivan mentioned, the Baker administration has been very committed to supportive housing, and I've been privileged to serve as a chair of an interagency initiative looking to how we can increase the production of supportive housing. And I've been so impressed that the advocates for youth have made this kind of housing such a priority, and this project is such a great example of what we can and need to continue doing across the Commonwealth. I want to give a shout out to CDAC's project manager, Sarah McKeever, who worked on this for us, and for my close colleagues at DHCD, Sue Terry and Ayana Gonzalez, who were also involved. Best wishes to the young adults who will live here, and we look forward to great things from you and for Bridge. And now my privilege to introduce the president of the Liberty Mutual Foundation and vice president of Liberty Mutual, Melissa McDonald.
Wow, this is such an amazing day, isn't it? We are so excited. Thank you, Roger. Hello, Elizabeth and Bob, and to everyone who's on the board, elected officials, and other members of the community. Mayor Walsh, I know I speak for everyone here when I say how lucky and fortunate we feel to have you leading in this city. Thank you. And thank you also for your deep commitment to helping young people who are experiencing homelessness, both through your support here with Bridge, but also through your commitment to Boston Public School students and the $1 million that you've put forth to help them get the services that they need. Thank you. Bob, also thank you to Highland Street Capital for the vital role that you've played here at Bridge. Finally, it's great to see so many other funders. I'd like to give a special shout out to our friends over at the Yaki Family Foundation. You've done an amazing job in the city, but also with this project, so thank you for that. There are many, many preconceptions about young people who become homeless. But Bridge has helped us all to see beyond those images, to the unique issues youth are facing. We have come to know about the mom who gets up at 5 a.m. to take 3 buses to get her children to childcare so that she can get to work. Or the young person who lacks family support but still makes it to school each day and studies hard to achieve his career goals. You may wonder why Liberty Mutual has invested here. We are all about promoting security for some of our city's most vulnerable neighbors. The national estimate is that as many as 1.6 million young people, don't let that blow away, are homeless at any point annually. This includes many young people who are not with family. We've invested in finding those numbers and learning more about the reality for Boston's youth who are homeless. There is a lot that we don't know, but there is plenty that we do know. We do know that no young person deserves to be abandoned and left on his own to fend through adolescence. We do know that no young person deserves to have to hunt around to find a place to sleep. We do know that no young person deserves to be left behind in any way, on any day, in Boston, Massachusetts, or anywhere for that matter. And we do know that Bridge Over Troubled Waters is a saving grace. So we are extremely happy and we are extremely proud to join with all of you on this super special day. Congratulations, and I will turn it back over to you, Bob.
You know, few people referred to me today as a board member of Bridge. I'm not a board member of Bridge, but I will tell you I'm married to a board member of Bridge who has not been thanked today, my lovely Rita. I told Rita on Monday that I had a board of directors meeting in New York City today and I couldn't be here today. She said, "The hell you're not." And you can see who went out in that battle, so, you know, because here I am. But anyway, with that, thank you all for being here. We're going to move on to a ribbon cutting ceremony and then invite you all to tour these great new facilities.
Yay!